Well, this week, some feel is the greatest week of the year for sports fans. I may be a bit biased. I'm down here in Atlanta for a March Madness broadcast, but the madness starts tonight. And if you haven't filled out your brackets, they are now digital. You got to get on it. This looks like the biggest single sporting betting event in the history of this country. Josh Schafer here to weigh in on that with some surprising data. Josh, are more people betting, or are we just talking about more money?
Yeah, Dave, it seems like probably more people betting. It really kind of depends. There's certainly more people available to bet, right? That's one thing we know for sure headed into the event. So 29 million more Americans can legally bet on this year's March Madness. And that's because gambling's growing and more states are opening up sports gambling. And so when we really kind of dig into the numbers of what the American Gaming Association projects here, they're projecting that 45 million Americans are going to wager. That number, that projection is actually down a little bit from last year. They said with so many people last year that were excited to bet after not having a tournament in 2020, they had projected 47 million last year. And they're projecting that it's going to be $3.1 billion bet on the tournament this year. It's a huge handle, absolutely enormous handle. And one other number I wanted to hit with you, Dave, is that they say that 76% of wagers will be made outside of brackets. That's up from 55% last year. So we're seeing more people bet outside of brackets. I talked to the American Gaming Association and I asked them, why do you think this is? They don't have concrete data on that, but they're saying that they think really what it is people want more of an immediate return. You can bet on a game and you immediately find out if you win or lose. You can do a parlay in one day and you immediately find out if you win or lose. That bracket and that long game, we might see people becoming less and less interested in as mobile sports gambling grows.
That's interesting. That may not necessarily be good for the NCAA tournament in terms of its general interest, because the brackets are the great equalizer. That's what brings your mom and your grandma and your grandson and your daughter and everyone to the table. It's interesting. We've got more people gambling on March Madness than did the Super Bowl, yet about half the handle. So a lot of small bets, it looks like. So basically, Josh, are you seeing fewer people do the brackets, more going to online sports books? And I got to get your national champion pick. Who are you betting on and who are people betting on?
Yeah, Dave. I mean, Gonzaga is still the favorite, right? As far as who people are betting on, it seems like that's a hot team, of course, for people to bet on. And I think a lot of what's happening here is people are more interested in the micro betting. We've heard that from a lot of these gambling companies. People want to bet on one game. They want to bet on one shot. They want to bet on who's going to score the next basket. So I think we're going to continue to see that grow, maybe away from the brackets, and everyone only fills out one bracket. I can fill out one bracket, but bet on 68 games. So then you look at how many, the volume there, and there's just a lot more volume in the gambling. Dave, I know you're a Duke guy. I think there's a chance Coach K does something magical and Duke comes out with a victory. I don't know who you got.
I don't think Duke has a chance. I am a huge Duke fan, and I can see them getting upset in the second round. I'd keep my eye on Arizona, if not Gonzaga, my sleepers, UCLA and Tennessee. Don't sleep on those two teams, two of the best teams in the country right now. Josh Schafer, good stuff with the March Madness betting handle ahead. Rochelle?